Hello my beautiful friends, welcome. Anna, Alchemist of the Arts here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the energies for the week ahead from Monday the 15th until Sunday the 21st of January 2024. Now without further ado, I'm going to get into it. It feels very much at the moment like time is going faster, and what I mean by that is not that time itself is moving faster, but our perception of it based upon our experience of our lives and the life circumstances or life lessons and spiritual growth lessons that we might be going through have accelerated. We could feel very much all of a sudden like the experiences that we were having maybe a few years ago, perhaps they took us a few months, even years to cycle through, to fully understand and to process and to see the situation for what it is, for what it was trying to show us, and to build the awareness to see the lesson that we were learning. And we might find now that we're going through situations where those life lessons are coming to us, but we're cycling through them so much quicker. And this is because we've developed that muscle. We've developed the muscle of our own personal growth toolkit, where we've got different things that we can call upon, different tools that we can access to help us process those emotions. And I think also because of the intensity of the last few years, we've got much greater resilience when looking at some of these situations. So some things might not seem as daunting as they did before, but what we're doing is really developing that awareness, that wider awareness situationally, that perhaps things are teaching us something, or perhaps even challenging circumstances might have a magic in them, might have a medicine in them, might have a gift for our growth. And it's not to say that all of these situations will be easy. It's certainly not to be put a false positive on it and just to spiritually bypass and say, oh, it'll be fine. I think what we've developed is the ability to understand and probably have built a stronger connection with our own spiritual team, our gods, guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, whoever it is for you, that helps us to process these experiences in a much quicker way. And I think that's quite relative to the current circumstances that we're in, the time on earth and humanity that we're in, and the need to evolve at a more rapid pace because we're keeping up with the rate of evolution of everything and just the speed of change. Time is, of course, relative. But I think the important thing that's coming through for me, if you're having this experience, is that we have to meter the rate of our own energy flow and understand when we might need to slow down for ourselves. It might feel like there are these sudden bursts of energy where we can move more quickly, especially as we're still, in the Northern Hemisphere, we're still in the winter period. And it has felt, for me personally, like quite a time of being withdrawn, a hermiting time, a time to process. And we're not out of that yet. But there might be bursts of time within that, within these rapid periods of personal growth where suddenly we get lightning clarity or we want to move more quickly. And equally, there might be times when actually we have enough awareness now to go, do you know what? I really need to slow down and think about this for me. I need to think before I make this decision, or I need to think before I take that action or deplete my energy. And I think this ties in to another aspect of the energy that's coming through, especially this week, with this sudden influx of energy that might make us want to do it. It feels like excitement. It feels like a lot of positivity. And if something had been cutting off or blocking or reducing the bandwidth of our energy, all of a sudden it's like, everything opens up and we can move forwards a lot more quickly. But within that, just because we can move more quickly, there are times perhaps when, especially if we've been focused on a specific goal or outcome I was actually speaking with my sister about this today. Perhaps there is something very, very specific that you want, or a certain standard or a certain level of something that you wish to achieve or to attain or to arrive at. It could be energetically within yourself, just a way of being, or it could be a physical object. It could be, a quality. It could be wealth, it could be abundance, whatever it is. There might be something that you have visualized and you could have been working towards or focused on. And if all of a sudden energy and starts moving very, very quickly, things start moving very, very quickly, and they're bringing you things and giving you lots of opportunities, or there are opportunities that aren't exactly what you want or really aligned with what you want. It's like they're most of the way, but not all of the way. And it's okay to come back and say, actually, no, and trust in our own experience, trust in our own intuition, that actually, just because that's coming forwards, that's a positive sign. It means that we're in alignment with that which we're seeking or that which we have been focused on. But just because it's coming through, if it's not, if it doesn't feel quite right, if there's something that feels off, and I think this is the important differentiation, if something is feeling off with that, then it's okay to say, actually, I'm going to pass on this one. I'm going to decline on this one, because as things move quicker, as life perhaps feels more demanding, we might feel that we're giving and doing a lot more. We are more open. We're more available in many ways, or just physically in the doing of things. It can be very, very easy for us to become depleted this week, especially if we have, a load of opportunities coming in all of a sudden. And these could be opportunities to go out. They could be opportunities to do things. They could be, I'm just getting like new jobs and things, just new opportunities that are really positive and really exciting. But it does feel like it comes with this, almost like a weight of responsibility, because it could be shiny, it could be exciting for us to go, this is amazing, but something about this just doesn't feel right. And then we have to go, okay, this isn't it, this isn't the one, or this isn't the thing, or something about this just feels off. And again, I'm just keep getting this message that it's okay to gradually implement those boundaries for ourselves, but also to make those decisions if something doesn't feel right. So this week, I think we could see a lot of change in perhaps our perceptions of the opportunities that are coming towards us, and whether or not we actually want some of the things that we've been focused on. It could be that we suddenly have a realization that some of the things we've been focused on, thinking about, manifesting, maybe you get a taste of it, maybe you get a glimpse of it, maybe you get to see the other side of something. And that it can be a little bit of a shock. It's very much that Savilo rune energy for me, something that acts as a bit of a catalyst, that somewhere within us awakens a realization that is one of those deep spiritual realizations that we can't go back from. And I know this is a tough energy to be in a lot of the time, because we want to be able to embrace this thing when it finally arrives, and then we go, actually, no, I know there is something more. And again, this brings us back to trusting in our intuition, into our inner experience at this time, as these opportunities are presented to us, as doorways begin to open. We have to have a trust here that just because a doorway opens doesn't mean we have to walk through it. If you are absolutely sure that this is the right pathway for you, then you make your decisions. But sometimes I've been in this position, a doorway opens up, and it's something that's really similar to something that you've really wanted, or something you've been focused on and thinking about. And then all of a sudden it's like, do you know what? This isn't the one. This isn't the thing. This isn't it. My body's giving me something about this just feels off. And then you make the decision. And from experience, when we don't walk through the doors that we know aren't right for us, we're actually saying, okay, do you know what? No, there is something better. I know there is. And it's something that's better for us. It's not dependent on the rest of the world. It's not about what anyone else thinks. This is about what feels most aligned for us. And on this theme as well, I definitely feel like we could be having a real expansion of our bigger picture. I feel like I've filmed this in the wrong order and I could have ordered this better, but I never structure or script my videos. The expansion of this bigger picture. So through the course of this week, and perhaps from the beginning of this year, there is always that rush of the collective rush in the entire collective as the year changes. We go into a new year, and then there is a lot of resolution setting. And I think for many of us, there has been a much slower pace to the start of this year, a much more reflective time where we haven't perhaps gone in for all of the crazes or all of the big momentum that there is in those first initial few weeks that tend to die off, and a real coming back and honoring self, honoring our inner vision, and really reflecting the season. As I said earlier, in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in winter, and this does feel like very much a wintering period in the collective spirit where we're coming back to ourselves and not wanting to rush, even though everything around us feels like it's happening so much more quickly. There is the need to respond to all of the outer things, but within us there is a much calmer sense of, okay, what is it that I actually really want to do? And in that, we're getting the expansion of the bigger picture, and it feels like I said, more doorways opening up, more opportunities coming through. And as they do, we begin to realize that perhaps actually the picture is bigger, or the picture is different. And again, this is bringing us more into alignment to what feels right for us in the present moment. Now, if you think of yourself maybe 10 years ago, think of the things that were most important to you. Think of the things that you wanted. I'm sure a majority of those things are quite different to the things that you want or are focused on right now. And it's fair to say, again, perhaps in another 10 years, life will be very, very different as well. Our needs, goals, wants, and desires will change, and they will evolve with us. So this could be a time of really honoring the path that we've been on, the growth that we have already been through. Those risings of the phoenix. This feels like one of those times where things have been really difficult for a very long time, or things have felt very, very slow. Things might have felt oppressive. You might have felt suppressed or very low energy, even though you knew that you were, in your own lane, and you were doing the things that you needed to do for you. You were processing and doing all of the things that were being asked of you. It could have felt like a really difficult and challenging time. And it really does feel like we're going into this rising phoenix energy where, despite all of that, we are finding ways to level up. We are finding ways to grow, to ascend, to evolve, and meet ourselves at this higher level at which that future vision is expanding. And everything that we saw before, it's not that there's anything wrong with it. We're just taking it to the next level. We're leveling up, and that's okay. And it's not, sometimes it can be really hard to look at those things, and it can come with a sense of guilt. But actually, what I'm feeling is this really strong wave of positive energy that's coming in, that's helping us to nurture our dreams, to help us nurture that vision and support ourselves as we decide to make some of these changes and decline some of the opportunities potentially that are coming to us, because we get a greater sense of the bigger picture, whatever that is for you. So you'll have to let me know how this goes for you over the next week. I will say as well right now, for those of you that haven't been here before, I used to do these videos really regularly, and over the last few weeks I filmed about 3 hours of video footage that I have tried to edit and put together in different ways, and none of it felt right. None of it felt right. So I drew a line under the sand, and then today it was like, no, I've really got that feeling, and I'm very intuitively led. I follow my intuition on these things, and it was like, you need to go and film. I'm like, but it's like nearly 11 o'clock at night. I was like, okay, no, that's fine. Let's go and film. Let's go and get this message done. And I think this is how we use our energy and our intuition to be in alignment with what it is that we're supposed to do. For me personally, that means showing up and filming a video, or it means doing a reading, or it means doing, I cleared my art space and redid my background and everything. It's doing those things when the energy is there. And if the energy isn't there, respecting that and respecting ourselves and not forcing it, but actually trusting in our sense of alignment. So for me, I felt really angry because, not angry, that's not the right word, but frustrated, because I wanted to show up for you. I wanted to share a video and provide you with not just content, but, this. And it just didn't feel right. So I feel happier to feel more in alignment with what I'm doing. And hopefully that's reflecting it in some of the other things that I'm creating and doing. So if you haven't here before, then hi, welcome. And if you're a regular, then thank you. I appreciate you so much. Right, sermon aside, let's get into some readings. I'm sorry if this is really noisy as well. I've got two and they have to come out together. What have we got? We have Perthro and we have Alchemist in the reverse. Whoa, okay. Now, Perthro came out in this position. In this position, I'm hoping you can see this as well. I've changed my camera setup as well. Perthro in this position, for me, is speaking about refilling our own cup. It's being conscious about the energy that we're investing into creating things. Perthro can speak of chance, of destiny, of the womb space, of the cosmic void, where everything is possible. But it's up to us to direct our intention and energy in order to focus on that which it is that we want to create. Now, Alchemist in the reverse for me is actually that symbol of death and rebirth. It's the symbol of endings. It is a symbol of that which is served its purpose in our life. So I'm really getting a strong message here with these two, the way they wanted to come out together and in these positions, that this could be a week where we really make some decisions that nurture us, that restore our own energy. This could be to cut certain things off. We could decide that certain things we just no longer wish to do. There might be dead ends is the words that's coming through. There could be endings that we decide to create, or we could suddenly see with greater clarity what has been draining our energy and where we're no longer willing to invest it. So we decided to put a stop to it. That's very, very interesting. Let's get, I normally do three, but those two I count as one because they came out together. So let's get two more. Ingvars. It did come out on its side, but I don't read this one out as a reversal. Ingvars is very much a seed of fertile soils, of new beginnings. It is a rune of potential, of growth. It has, to me, the symbolism of our entire blueprint within it. Everything is possible within this rune. It is that fertile soil. So for some of you, a literal fertility could be very, very important as a secondary, sort of a secondary level of fertility that is so literal. It can speak of the time, the energy being right, being perfect for tending and planting new seeds. And seeds are something which grow over a period of time. There's something that we nurture, whether that is a literal nurturing through actions, or whether that is this new life that we're creating, and we're nurturing it through our thoughts, through our personal growth, through shifting our perception of the life that we're living and the life that we can have in order to achieve what may have felt impossible at one time. This is very much fertile ground for new beginnings. So I would say this week, very much focus on the new beginnings you wish to create, because that is going to come to life. And it might not be immediate. This is very much for me a rune of springtime. But in order to have new growth in the springtime, you have to be conscious of the seeds that you're planting through the winter period. So even in those times of stillness where it might seem like nothing's happening, your energy, your intention, and the seeds that you're planting, whatever way, are very, very important. Let's get one more. Wenyo, I love this. Pursuing a path of joy. This is joy, this is blessings, this is happiness, this is the richness of our experience and finding those moments of joy in living. Now, happiness, when we talk about happiness, if you listen to thought leaders talking about happiness, it seems like a goal, something that you have to reach, whereas joy is something that you can experience in a moment. It is something that can be present even in the darkest and most difficult of times. So this is saying to me, focus on the joy, focus on nurturing yourself here with Ingvars, restoring your own energy by cutting off what has served its purpose with algaes in the reverse and with Pethro. Focus on your bliss. What lights you up? What makes you feel happy and enriched? What makes you feel in alignment? Because that's been a really big theme for this week. Definitely take a note. And if you'd like a more practical suggestion, perhaps if you've got new opportunities, the opportunities to try new things, or you find yourself in new experiences or around new people, take a note. Even if it's just mentally, if it's literally when you're out, just write some notes in your phone if you need to. I'm a journaler, so for me, it is the act of writing something down that illuminates things. Go and write those notes, bring them to awareness. It's a very conscious process when you do that, because you don't just go, oh yeah, I'm feeling that. You have to write it down, and then it's any sensations that come with it or links to the exact experience, and notice what brings you joy or what brings you happiness over the course of this week. The tiniest of things, keep a note of them, like a gratitude journal for the day, and just at the end of the day, go back and reflect upon that. And you'll soon see, I think, where there are patterns of things that you really enjoy in life, and what makes you happy, and what lights you up and makes you feel fulfilled, and where perhaps, it could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be a colleague, it could be a client, it could be anything. Somebody that comes into your field and then you're just like, oh, it makes you feel like you're contracting, or that positive energy is sort of sapped away, especially because we have the Pethro rune in the upright position, facing upwards. To me, it's just what that signifies. It's noticing who helps fill your cup, or what makes you feel like your cup is filled, as opposed to what feels like it drains and depletes it. So there's a bit of practical guidance there as well for working with those energies that this week through the runes, and for how I use those runes as tools for self-discovery. So I'm going to wrap this up because I've probably gone on forever. I hope this reading and I hope this message assisted you in some way. If it did, feel free to like, share and subscribe. But I will be back with more and other updates and readings. And of course, feel free to check out my Instagram with all my latest artwork of things like, make things like these beautiful little altar cards if you haven't seen them before. These are prints of my artwork. I'll cover more about those, and especially that one, in another video. But for now, take care. I wish you a wonderful week. Just sending you so much love, and I will speak to you really, really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.